everyone new to me, I am Siobhan Green, the galloping housewife. I'm an ordinary, average, middle-aged woman, a wife, a mother, a nurse, a online mentor to galloping housewives around the globe, sometime entrepreneur. And with tenacity and the ability to do the next step and do the next thing, I was part of the squad that qualified New Zealand's first ever Olympic dressage team. I'm known for my messages, for my blogs and my courses that meet other middle-aged women exactly where they are and encourage them to take their own next step. Before you watch this video, I'd like to state that I am a David Goggins fan. I read his book and I found his story of triumph over adversity inspiring. He's an exceptional athlete, and I know that his messages have encouraged other people, millions of people around the globe in their own lives and their own situations. I am a little bit concerned about how some of the messages that he puts out there are interpreted and received and interpreted. It's not just him; it's kind of like it's the whole cohort of lifestyle influencers and bloggers out there. I don't believe that it is always necessary to tough it out or to suck it up or to push through. And I know that he's not always saying that. But it is how, like I said, it's how some of his messages or some of their messages are received. I think that we often look at things that are challenging and we don't think that we're capable because we don't believe that we have the strength or the ability to meet them. When the truth is that we just have different skills and attributes that we can utilize. So I decided to step up and do this challenge to find out if an ordinary, average, middle-aged woman could be just as strong and capable as David Goggins. I hope you enjoy my weekend of fuck around and find out.
Hi, I'm Siobhan, the galloping housewife. I am here to prove to you once and for all that an ordinary, average, middle-aged woman is far more capable than you could ever imagine. Hi, it's Siobhan here. Again, it's about an hour since I recorded that introduction and I have just been for an easy 5-mile run, and it's a good thing that I found it relatively easy, although it's rather warm here today in Scotland, because my challenge this weekend is to run 4 miles. It might sound strange to be running 1 mile less than what I do on a day-to-day basis, but the thing with this challenge is that I'm actually going to be running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, which means at the end of the weekend I would have run 48 miles, about 78 kilometers, just under a marathon a day. And also doing it every 4 hours means that there will be some sleep deprivation involved as well. So I will go home and get prepared. Hiya, it's Siobhan here, the galloping housewife. I was going to record this video at home, but my teenage son has just decided to do the vacuuming, and anyone who is the parent of teenagers will know that it's best not to interrupt them when they're doing such things. So yeah, you might have looked at that last wee clip and thought, what the hell are we doing a challenge like this for? My personal reason for doing it was that I've got another challenge for charity coming up not too far away, and in that I am going to have to climb and descend one mountain in the middle of the night. I'm doing 3 different mountains in a row, and to get them all done within the time frame that we need to, we'll be going actually up 2 and down 1 in the dark. And I haven't done much or any exercise through the night, so I thought that this was a good test to sort of like get used to getting up and doing something physical in the middle of the night. But when I did some research on it, so it just came across, it was just one of those random things that came across my YouTube feed. And when I did a bit of research on it, there was all these people that were saying that, how hard it is. And, it was all sort of, you're so tough and so cool for doing it. Mostly it was being, it was proposed, but also it was being completed by sort of younger men, but some also very athletic women, young women, very younger women, and they were finding it, they were finding it really tough. And like, I am not saying that I expect it to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. It is a challenge, but I think that it's being, I think that your average middle-aged galloping housewife, your average middle-aged woman, won't find the same challenges that other people do, and will actually have a skill set to get through this, that perhaps some of the young bros find a little bit tricky. And for that reason, I have decided to record this and go through the things, the attributes that I think nearly every average, ordinary, middle-aged woman will have, that will make it, that will give me the solutions or the strategies to get through the challenges as they arrive. And just to point out that sometimes we look at things and we go, well, I can't do that because I'm not, I'm not a strapping young man. I'm not exceptionally fit. Obviously, you saw a video of me doing like a 5-mile run this morning, but I'm not, and I am in reasonably good shape, but I'm not exceptionally fit. And this challenge can actually be done no matter what your fitness level is. It's just about doing some exercise or doing something that is like moderately challenging every 4 hours. So if you're up to walking fitness for getting out there and walking for like 40 minutes every 4 hours is plenty to do to test yourself with this one. But anyway, back to this challenge. So I'll be going through it step by step and letting you know how the challenges, what I see the challenges are, but also letting you know the strategies that I think that, we underestimate ourselves. Ordinary, average, middle-aged woman, we underestimate ourselves. All right, I'll catch you soon. Good morning. It's Siobhan here, the galloping housewife. It is just after 4 a.m. and I am walking down to my, I guess, start point where I'm walking down to my gate, which is where I'm going to start from, for my first 4 miles of 12 for this weekend. So I did say that I would share the strategies or the skills or the capabilities that that galloping housewives, that middle-aged women have acquired over the years, that would assist with this. And the first one of this is planning. And it's, we underestimate exactly how much organisation and how much management goes into our daily lives and how useful that is. And, for those of you that ride horses, a lot of my followers do, that's how you started with me, will know that you don't go to a horse show without having checklist after checklist after checklist, after schedule after timetable. You don't leave anything to chance. You plan. You know that you've got everything that you need, everything that your horse needs. You know that you've got time to travel. You know that you've got your accommodation booked. You know that you've got your schedule for the day. You know when you're going to plait your horse, when you're going to walk the course, when you're going to get on, how long your warm-up's going to be, and all those sorts of things. And, and that's incredibly useful. I mean, obviously it's useful for something like this, but it's useful for, it's useful in so many other spheres as well, whether it be in the, a corporate world, or running your own business, or or organising your own life. And Yeah, and it's something that not everyone does. It's something that, you know, people often just wing it, like just turn up, and if they haven't had to organise, you know, if they haven't had to organise their family or their, you know, or their, or going to a competition or all those sorts of things, which, you know, even going for a multi-day holiday, they just don't know. They don't know that they don't know how to organise themselves. They don't know how to plan. They don't know how to make sure, have the checklist, write the checklist, and check the checklists over and over and over again. And they just don't. And we just do it. We just take it for granted. So that's my first thing. I am just about down at the gate at the moment, and like I said, I can't turn this phone around, turn the camera around, but I am alone, apart from one little dog who is wearing her newly purchased bright orange collar so that she can be seen by everybody, and I'm wearing my very bright reflective stuff. We live in the middle of the nowhere. There's not much traffic up here at the best of times, but taking nothing to chance. Another galloping housewife trait. Right, see you in 4 miles. Hi, it's Siwan here. It's about 40 minutes after I last spoke to you, but more. Actually, one thing I'm not going to do is share times and paces and that sort of stuff, because that's not relevant. But yeah, just finished run number 1. And as expected, it was physically reasonably straightforward. But I did promise I would share things that I learned. And today I learned that our road, despite being, well, probably because we're in the middle of nowhere and live at the very end of a dead-end road, it is used as a park-up spot and also for overnight camping. So, or sleeping in cars, vans, whatever. So, things you learn at 4 o'clock on a Saturday morning. But anyway, no trouble was had, just a little bit of amusement. And I am heading home to have a shower and go back to bed for a couple of hours. Right, I'll see you sometime after 8. Hi, well, here I am again. It's Siwan here, the galloping housewife, and it's just after 8 a.m. and I am heading down to the gate to start my second 4-mile run of the weekend, second of 12. And yeah, and I don't have the dog with me at this time, so any of you that were concerned that I was going to be taking the dog on 48 miles with her little legs, although she's just as fit as me, because she's done all the climbing and most of the running that I have done over the last, well, forever since we've had it. But yeah, I am aware that 48 miles is probably a little bit too much for the little legs. So she has stayed at home. My husband's now up. He just got up when I got up then. And I've left him with her and with our other dog, actually, who doesn't come out unless he has to. So it's, yeah, and that is my second strategy. Second, attribute that we have as galloping housewives is the ability to realise, realise that we can't do it ourselves, but also the ability to sort of rope in help. You won't go, and it's always the woman that who ropes in the help. And I mean, I say this as someone who's my husband is fantastic parent and does a lot of the and fantastic and helps her around the house a lot. He does more than 50% of the housework, and he looks after the kids and takes them to swimming lessons, and does parent teacher interviews and does all that type of stuff. He's does a lot, but he's not the organizer, and he's not the manager, and he is not the person that will make sure shit gets done when it needs to get done. And so if you have ever been on holiday, whether or not you have a partner, but if you've been on holiday and you've got a home or a horse or a cat to look after, it will be you that has roped someone in to look after them. It will be you that makes sure that your parents get get their visits, or get their groceries, or do whatever. And so here for this weekend, I have my husband sort of he's not going to do anything because I've planned it and managed it. The situations like that, I'll go well, he is aware that he will be doing the laundry. So obviously I only have a finite number of outfits, and he will be doing the laundry, and making sure he normally does laundry, but he will be making sure that he does the laundry more often to make sure that I've got clean clothes going into day 2, or even this afternoon, to be quite frank. So that's another something that that a lot of people, especially younger people who are completely independent and who have no dependents, have no people or animals or that rely on them, and a lot of the males in our lives tend to be the ones that rely on the women to organise that sort of stuff for them. So that's something that we have that they don't have. Right, I am just about at the bottom of my driveway now, and we'll see you after 4 hours. After 4 miles. Hopefully not 4 hours. Right, bye now. Yeah, sorry about that. We have no people up here, but every now and then, because we live in a quite a nice part of the world, people come up here for walking, so let's just have a wee conversation. But anyway, back to my sweat. This is something that I just, and it's probably more pertinent to the horse riders out there, that follow me, than anyone else. But I sweat a lot, as you can see, really quite glamorous. And I know, and I know, well, partly from a nursing background, but mostly from my horse riding, that electrolytes are imperative, and that any time that there is an exertion, whether it be through physical exercise. The guy was coming up to take photos of the castle, which is that little folly there. So anyway, anytime, whether it be through exercise, whether it be through heat, or humidity, or whether it be through stress too. You can actually use up a lot of electrolytes when you with stress and sort of any sort of energy, and so you need to replace them. But the other key point is that once you are in deficit, I was about to say you're fucked. You're not fucked. You can retrieve it, but it's far better to preload. Not entirely, don't go overboard, but certainly preload. And I take electrolytes every day, whether or not I'm exercising. And if I exercise, I take some more. And for this particular thing, because it's ongoing, I'm drinking electrolytes prior to every run. Obviously not my full daily dose, and obviously not my full exercise dose, but I am taking some the entire day to keep my electrolytes stabilised throughout. And those of you that have been to multi-day events with your horses, you'll know you'll be giving them electrolytes, or you should be giving the electrolytes well, you should be giving them daily, and then you should be giving them extra when you travel every day of the show, no matter how much they're doing, and especially if they exert themselves. Yeah, so that's another thing that, and I watch so many videos of people that are doing ultra runs and that sort of stuff, and they're cramping, or they are, and it's part of the bonk is electrolytes as well, but it's hitting the wall, and it's like, seriously guys, seriously, you know that you're going to be having electrolytes. So but perhaps they don't, and maybe that's something that we have as an advantage. So that's top tip number 2, or 3 or 4, whatever it is now. We'll see you lunchtime, midday. Bye. Hi, it's Siobhan here, the Galloping Housewife. It's just after midday, and I am once again heading down my driveway for another 4 miles. And I guess it's a strength that I believe that we as galloping housewives have. Middle-aged women, but galloping housewives especially, is the ability to, I guess, and this is kind of a twofold thing. One is to enjoy the journey. So actually, like, life becomes, we realise by the time we get to middle age, but especially if you've been involved in training horses, pretty much any endeavour, you realise that if you put everything around the destination, if you put everything around striving for and achieving that goal, that you just spend so much bloody time being miserable and that it's actually, you've got to be able to enjoy the journey. So you've got to be able to enjoy the process of getting to an end point, in your career, in your training with your horses, in your sorry, I was supposed to have left my dog back with my husband, but anyway, I have a dog with me. Just chased me. She just hates leaving me, so this is going to be an extra one for her. She is very well conditioned. She's done some longer sort of jogs and climbs, especially. She's done. Sorry about that. I meant to ignore my husband's call, and I ended up answering it. So there we go. Anyway, so just letting him know that I have Ruby with me. But as I was saying, she's quite well conditioned. So for those of you that are worried about the dog's fitness coming up with me and doing this, she'll be fine. We also go past a lot of rivers, so she can stop and have a drink and a swim. So enjoying the journey, enjoying the process of getting there. That it's got to be about life's too short, and and no amount of sacrifice. And that's another one, is that whole kind of like sacrifice thing, the whole kind of like, you've got to make some compromises, and you've got to make some choices, and you will give up some things on the way to achieve anything, and that could be anything from a relationship to a financial goal, to a career goal, to a sporting goal, whatever it is. You'll make some choices, but you've got to actually enjoy the process. It's not all about doing it tough. And the other thing is that you put the training in, and you realise that sometimes you've just got to do the boring work. You've got to put the process. It's got to be, one step and then the next step, and then the next step, that nothing happens overnight, and that some things take time. Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't done the necessary training to make the physical stuff not too tough. I mean, I'm certainly not ultra marathon fit, but I am, you know, I can bang out four miles quite happily. Yeah, and you know, that work's being done. You know, I'm climbing hills while I'm not running all that far. I am going for longer hikes up some pretty steep hills. So I have the fitness. Right, I am obviously at my gate, and I will see you in 40 minutes or so. Hi, it's Siobhan here, Galloping Housewife. Yeah, just finished run 3. So, and yeah, heading back up the driveway. As you can see, I am what's called glowing. As you would have seen after this morning's run at 8. I sweat a lot, but also it is, I mean, it's warm for Scotland, so it's warmer than I am used to training in. It's, I mean, it's only 22 or 3 degrees, which again I'll convert for you Americans later. But yeah, it's only 22 or 23 degrees. But last time I looked, it was 94% humidity. So yeah, glowing. Yeah, and it was, but once again, quite comfortable out and back. Those runners amongst you will be aware of perceived effort as a measure, and that's all I'm doing. And what I'm doing is what I term easy. I don't give them numbers. I don't relate it to anything, but I just, this is what it feels easy to me, and the pace will be the pace. I don't really give a shit. Yeah, but we did stop, as you saw, on the way back, and Ruby had a wee swim, or a wee wallow, as the case may be. It's not really deep enough for her to swim. But yeah, and that actually brought a thought to my mind, because there's this thing about, if you don't stop, if you don't run continuously, you're not actually running. That's not a run. And it's like, have you seen the ultra runners? I mean, there is not a single one amongst them, right up to the very pinnacle of the elite, that don't walk somewhere during their race, even if it's just through an aid station. And the only person that I know that runs most of the time on course is Killian Janae, and he has a VO2 max somewhere around 90, which is superhuman. And for the rest, even elite athletes, they will walk up hills. If any of you watched the London Marathon last year, you would have seen Sophia stop on the side of the road, like stop dead on the side of the road, and stretch out a groin that was upsetting her. I mean, does that mean that she didn't actually run the London Marathon? Of course she fucking did. She won the damn thing. You know, it's just like, so what I'm saying is, from people from outside will quite often look in and go like, well, if I'm expected to participate in any running event, I have to run the whole thing. I'm not a real runner until I can run XYZ distance continuously. And that's not correct. That's not factually accurate. And so how many other things are you standing on the outside of, looking in and going, oh, I can't do that because I can't do XYZ. Yeah, so don't judge. Don't judge what you see other people doing. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what makes up, even like with horse riding, you don't know what makes up those 6 minutes in the arena, or the 6 minutes around the cross country, or the 2.5 minutes around a show jumping arena. Well, I have no idea what it is in a reining competition, so someone please comment below and let me know. But it's, you know, it's that whole thing about, you know, like, we don't know what goes into things. We don't know. We stop judging yourself, stop comparing yourself, stop thinking you can't do anything. It's like, just give it a go. Give it a go. And the other thing is, it doesn't matter if you don't win. It's actually okay. It's actually okay. Right, I'm just about at home. I'm going to have some more food and fluid, and I will see you at 4 o'clock. Bye now. Hello, it's me again, Siobhan, the galloping housewife, off for my fourth full on run. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, so this thing that I want to talk about right now was gear, and this is particularly for the galloping housewives. I think that yeah, if you've ridden horses for a long time, I work in other places too, but especially if you've ridden horses, you will know there's a lot of gear involved. So it's like, saddle, bridle. You've probably got some boots. Certainly got saddle cloth and under or whatever, and your own clothes, your own boots, hat, gloves, maybe. And that's just the actual riding stuff, and then you'll have how many different variations of bits and nosebands and martingales and breastplates and all that type of shit. And you will, especially if you're going to an event, you will not use anything untested. You obviously have to try things out, but you will not use anything untested on a big day. You're not going to use anything untested when you've got, when something's on the line. And you'll also not follow fads and trends, because you know that the most important thing is that it works for you, and it works for your horse, and it works for, whatever discipline you're pursuing, and at whatever level you're riding at. And there's a million questions, and it will be the stuff that you use will be particular to you, and it's the same with this, with going out like this. I've got a particular brand of sports bra that I use, that I know that fits me, and they're actually cheap as chips, but they that I know that they fit me, and that they actually they hold my phone as well when I go running, because I don't like to wear a belt or anything like that. I don't like to wear my phone on my belt, but I've got shoes that I've got an unusually shaped foot, and I've got shoes that that are particular to me, that I know that work for me, that support the way that my running style, and also the terrain and things. That's a good example of whatever discipline. I'm going out here on the road, which I don't normally do, but I've got road shoes, and I've got trail shoes for different surfaces. So we're not going to go out there and do things in untested gear. We're not going to try anything new on race day, essentially. So that's my bit for now. I will see you in, 40-45 minutes, however long it takes me to get out there and back again. Bye. Hiya, it's me again. That's another one done. So 4 done. We're a third of the way through. Once again, it was just like, it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's easy, but physically it's fine. I had to laugh though. So when you get out there and you're embarrassed about embarrassed about yourself, you have imposter syndrome, or you just might feel that you don't have the right stuff, or your horse isn't fancy enough, or your school wasn't fancy enough, or you know, you can't go to the gym or play tennis because you might have wobbly bits. So I'm running out there along the road and I'm in reasonably good shape, and I can hear this slapping, and no, it's not from my ass, it's not from my thighs. My thighs do rub together quite seriously, but they don't make a slapping sound. But it's from my underarms, so it's from my chicken wings underneath my arms, and it's slapping against, you can hear it slapping against my side as I run. It's just like, that's attractive. Sure, I'll go out in public like this, but you know, I mean, who gives a fuck really? I'm getting out there, I'm doing it. It's just one of those things. So yeah, ordinary, average, middle-aged woman. Right, I will see you, what are we at? That was a 4 o'clock run, so I'll see you sometime after 8. Should be dark. Right, catch you then, bye. Hey, it's Siobhan, galloping housewife. It's just after 8 p.m. and I'm heading down the driveway to begin my 5th 4-mile run of this day. Yeah, it's a little bit damp. It's not actually raining at the moment, but it's a bit damp, and I didn't start recording until I got further down the hill because it's quite windy. Yeah, it's just not very pleasant. Home is warm, and there's the rugby on, the World Cup's on, and yeah, it would have been very easy to stay there and not do this run, but this is what I've said I will do and what I've promised to do, and that is exactly the skill set, or the capability and the ability that we as galloping housewives, ordinary average middle-aged women, we get outside and we do it. You know, if you've got horses, you have to go out and feed and muck out and ride, no matter what the weather, no matter how you're feeling. You have to do barn check. It's just, that's just one of the things that you have to do. That's me just about falling on my ass walking down the driveway. It's a good omen, isn't it? But yeah, it's just, we make commitments to go to the schools, to go to our kids' soccer games, or, whatever it is. When you've got to middle age, you know that, or, go to conferences when you really rather wouldn't, or, things at work. It's just we've developed the ability, it's just quite normal for us to do things when we really rather wouldn't. And so, yeah, that's another thing. I just think we have this ability, this strategy, this, skill set that we just do stuff. And we don't hate it. We just do it because it needs to be done. Yeah. So with that, I'm at the gate, and this needs to be done. So I will see you at the end. Hey, it's me again. For as much as you can see, I'll try not to look directly at you so you don't get blinded by my head torch, which possibly needs some new batteries before this weekend is out. Once again, I am back, so it's 5 down, and to be honest, it was possibly one of the most pleasant ones. It's a bit cooler, and with a little bit of rain and a little bit of a breeze, even though it was a headwind on the way out, it was quite nice, refreshing, so another one of those lessons, don't decide conditions are not right until you try, because you never know, they might make things better. And today I learned that there's a hell of a lot of frogs that live up our road. Because my main mission was dodging frogs and the odd skink, but mainly frogs. So yeah, that's it, it's done, and I will see you just after midnight. Bye. Hello, well here we are, it's just after midnight and I'm heading out for run number 6, for mile number 6. Yeah, middle of the night. Guess when this is done it'll be halfway. And it's one of the things that they talk about for this challenge, being a challenge, is sleep deprivation. Yeah, alarm went off at 20 to midnight to get up and do this, and but they talk about I guess not being able to formulate thoughts and all that type of stuff and do stuff without sleep. And it's like, mate, I'm a nurse, I am a mum, I have horses. Let me tell you a couple of stories about sleep deprivation. And it's a little bit the same as the last thing. It's like when you don't really feel like it. It's raining. It's now really misty. You can't see the dogs. Quite misty. Visibility is and not that I need any anyway, but visibility is not great. It's very, very still, calm, obviously, if it's misty. But, that feeling of not wanting to get up and put your clothes on and go out and do the thing, or get out of bed and do the thing. It's more that than the sleep deprivation, because it's like, you just get up and do it. If you need to get up and do it, then you need to get up and do it. If a really sick patient turns up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you look after them. If your horse is colicking, you get out and look after that. Or if it's just the matter of having to, and actually that's a really interesting one. If you have to get out of bed in the morning because you've got to get to a show, you've got to feed and plant and get to a show, you do it and you enjoy it. And it's like, well, actually, it's not about the sleep deprivation. It's about getting up and doing something, and because you have to, and whether you can, because you have to, and whether you can because you want to, because it's something really enjoyable. And that's the difference, is that we're used to middle-aged, average, ordinary women are used to getting up and doing stuff because we have to. And that's about it. That's where we're at. Right. I'm halfway down the driveway. I will see you in... Try not to fall over. I will see you in 40 minutes or so. Hi, it's me. I'm finished. Just another one done. Wasn't quite as easy as the last one, but it was just still easy. I think, the horse riders amongst you will know what I mean when I say I forgot to check the water buckets. I've got a system in place where I'm drinking before and after the run. I don't think I had what I needed to between the two runs. So I'm just feeling a bit dry out there. That's okay. Apart from that, I was just out there and back, looking at all the sheep's eyes, The New Zealanders will know what I mean when I say Shaun of the Dead. They all glow in the dark. Actually, Ruby's does too. So, and that was one of my key things to tick off for this, was to get comfortable with moving in the dark. And yeah, it's fine. Yeah, actually we just had a really cool thing happen, just came around the corner. And where we live is fairly remote, and there's a couple of heron that hang out here. We've got little heron chicks every now and then, which is really cute. But anyway, I came around the corner and there's a heron stood in the middle of the road, and we were right on top of it. So yeah, it took off and flew away from just a few feet away, which is quite marvellous. Anyway, it's nearly 1 o'clock. I'm going to go back, have a shower, drink something, eat something, and go to sleep, and I'll see you at 4. Oh yeah, we're halfway. Actually, yeah. I'll talk about that in the next time. Yeah, we're halfway. Anyway, see you then. Bye. Good morning. It's me. Just after 4 in the morning, heading down to do my lap, my 4 miles. I've managed to sneak away without the dog, so hopefully she doesn't wake up the rest of the house. Yeah, I finished off the recording last time saying that I would speak a bit more about being halfway. And yeah, I just want to, there's just a little bit of a, I guess, mindset tip or a hack, because, you know, sometimes you get to, when you have projects, when you are doing things and you feel like they're never ending, it's quite easy to be looking, you know, maybe for these milestones like the halfway point, or, you know, whatever it is, we think that it's all downhill from here, you know, we'll get to it. And so, I mean, that always makes the first half of the project not great, and it sometimes can make the second half of the project not great as well, because you know, what happens if you get to the halfway point and it doesn't become all downhill from there. It becomes more difficult, you know, if you can't, and so my way of looking at things, and actually I heard someone talk about it on a podcast the other day, and their point was to always be where your feet are. But it's talking about being present, really, looking at the actual your actual situation, and going, you know, am I okay right now? And can I do the next thing that I need to do? And if that's true, then that's all you need to worry about. The rest of it can take care of itself. The rest of the journey can take care of itself. Just say, are you okay right now? And can you do the next thing that you need to do? So, yeah, right now I'm okay. And I can do the next thing that I need to do, which is head out that gate and run another 4 miles. So I will see you in about 40 minutes or so again. All right, bye now. Hey, it's Shaun here. Yeah, I don't think you can see anything. Let's see. No, you can see my watch. I'm going to turn this sideways, so that'll screw this up. I am at the halfway point. Just turned around to come out to a wee lay-by turnaround. Lay-by that I know now is my just over 3.25 kilometres. So I come out here so I don't even have to think about where I'm turning around and turn around. But I just wanted to talk about what an absolutely friggin' magical night it is. I will turn the phone and see if you can see the moon and the stars. They are all out tonight, and while we live quite remotely, there's a reasonable amount of light pollution. We're only 30 miles from here and Glasgow, so there's quite a bit of light pollution around, but they are out tonight. And you would have heard the river when I turned around. It's a little quiet at the moment. It's still right next to me, and I'm the only soul out here, and I'm not going to tell you that you need to be getting up at 4 o'clock to get shit done. I'm not that kind of person. Personally, I do like getting up in the morning, but that's just me. I'm a morning person. I like being alone. But if you do have the chance, if you do have to be up for something, or something happens and you need to be outside on your own in the night, or even inside on your own in the small hours of the morning, just take a moment, because it's pretty fucking cool. Right, that's enough walking. I'm going to have to get going, get back home, have a shower, go to bed again. See you at the end of this. Hey, it's me. End of that 4-mile session, which went really well. Obviously, I took my time and I chatted to you at the turnaround. I actually stopped and tried to get a video of the moon reflecting on the river, but my iPhone knowledge is not the greatest, so I need to figure out how to do these things in night mode. But anyway, did you know there's a YouTube video for everything? I'm sure that I could find it somewhere. But anyway, we are here, we're back. Feeling really good. Really good. So once you get out there and get going, you just kind of like, just get it done. And I quite enjoy it, especially when I'm taking it easy. I don't quite enjoy running so much when I'm trying to do speed work or, extremely hilly terrain. But I do enjoy the hilly terrain, but I don't enjoy running up it. But it's it's just like when I'm just ticking over, it's quite nice. I just wanted to recap on the sleep thing. I suddenly thought what was out there. Sorry, just stood on something, I don't know what it was, but yeah. The sleep thing, the whole difficulty that people have with, talked about sleep deprivation and being used to going without and used to functioning when we are tired. And so many times, sometimes, like this is just a weekend, and going to horse show is a weekend too, or maybe a week, but, parenthood can be never ending. And, shift work and those sorts of things. There will be periods in your time when you are absolutely exhausted, and sometimes the exhaustion comes from emotional stress. But you just get by, because that's what ordinary, average, middle-aged women do. That's what we're expected to do, so that's what we do. Sometimes we fall apart, and that's okay too. But I know for this weekend, it's only 48 hours. I can handle anything for 48 hours. It's, but back to the sleep thing, my thought that I had was that, we get really, especially those of us that are parents, but also if you're a shift worker, but we just get really good at sleeping when you can, resting when you can. And even if you're not a parent or a shift worker, by the time you got to middle age, you're pretty good at realising how important rest is. and that you can take it when you need it. And so, yeah, just being able to, I might only have an hour and a half between these runs to actually lie down and sleep, but I'm making the most of them, and that's another sort of skill set that I have picked up on my journey to becoming a middle-aged galloping housewife. Right, I will see you at 8 o'clock, getting light. Yay! Good morning, it's 8 o'clock, just after actually, and I'm on my way down to start my, I guess it's my 6th lap, isn't it? 6th 4-mile run, and as you can see behind me, it's a cracking morning here in Scotland, another really warm one and quite humid too, so I will be paying attention to that. Today, as I get the last of these done, yeah, I've got quite a list, and I'm not quite sure I'm going to go through them all these things that I think that you know, we have that are beneficial to help with a challenge like this, but also, yeah, as I've said a number of times through this video, with a whole lot of shit in our lives. But one of the things is, people talk a lot about pain. They talk about pain through this challenge, but they also talk about pain as being something that stops them from doing, yeah, all sorts of things, endurance running, but yeah, just in attempting a lot of challenges, yeah, obviously physical challenges, but pain is something that stops people. Now, I haven't touched wood so far on this challenge. You know, you've seen me slide up and down this hill a little bit, but I've not, you know, I've not done anything that would cause me an injury, apart from obviously just getting out here and doing the sort of overuse stuff. And this is not, as I've said to you a number of times, I'm not, I'm, yeah, I'm fit enough, but I'm not endurance fit, you know, not endurance run fit. And, you know, I get up in the morning, I get up to do these, and yeah, there's aches and pains and bits and pieces, and I lie in bed and I feel my hips and that sort of stuff. It's like, I'm a middle-aged woman. Yeah, that goes with the territory. We used to call it, when I was nursing, we used to call it vitamin V, which was Voltaren or Voltarol or diclofenac, where it's either part of the world you're in, and it was, you know, something that we took every morning. But it's kind of like, yeah, I've got this, yeah, I've got aches and pains, but also one thing I learnt when I was nursing was that, yeah, pain's got a purpose, and the purpose is to tell us there's a problem. Once it's done that, it's no longer got a purpose. And pain's all in our mind. Yeah, it literally is all in our mind. It is an interpretation of signals that we are being sent, and it's how much importance we choose to put on it. And, you know, as middle-aged women, you'll know that you can't afford to. If you didn't get out of bed in the morning because you were sore, you'd never get out of bed in the morning. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things. And also, I mean, like, I know, once again, just like with the sleep and that sort of stuff, it's just like tiredness. It's 48 hours. I can do anything for 48 hours. Those of us that have given birth know it's pretty uncomfortable. But, you know, we get through it. Like, it's, no one's ever stayed pregnant. So, I've stayed pregnant for a long time, longer than you think. But anyway, but no one's ever stayed pregnant. And so it's like these, and the childbirth, you know, no one's ever stayed in labour. So we know that we can get through it. Whether or not we enjoy the process is another thing, but we get through it. And I think that it actually gives us even if you're not a parent, you will have, there will be something in your life that you've endured that has been uncomfortable, and it gets you from one side to the other, and it's just how much importance you choose to put on that discomfort in the moment, that whether or not it would stop you from doing whatever you want to do. So right now, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. In fact, I'm uncomfortable for holding up my phone. And I'm going to head out through the gate and crack on with this next 4 miles. I'll see you in 45 minutes or so, however long I choose to let it take me. Bye. Hi there, it's me. I've just finished what must be lap number 8. So yeah, only 4 more to go. Yeah, and it's once again it was just an average physical challenge. It didn't take too much out of me. I'm going at an easy pace, and I think by now you will have realised that this is not really about going out and running every 4 hours. It's about just that mental will, I guess. I hate the word will. Yeah, I have often said, if people ask me, what makes a good horse rider, what is the attribute you most need to be a good horse rider, and I've always said tenacity. But tenacity is not about wanting it more. It's not about this, I don't know, positive thinking and just willing things to happen. Tenacity, you don't even have to want it that much. You just have to not stop. Just do it again, or do it some more, or whatever it might be. So yeah, all these people that go on about wanting it more gives you a why. Wanting it more gives you a reason to get out. But also, you don't have to want it more than the next person. It's not some sort of magical power that elite level people have, that they are just somehow so driven for success. All it is that they just keep going. They just keep going. And sometimes they don't know why they keep going. Sometimes they have no clue. Me. So yeah, not doing this, but with a lot of other things. I don't know sometimes why I keep going with things, but keep going. So here we are at the end of the sweet jog. I'm gonna go home, have some breakfast, have a drink, have a shower, and we lie down. And I will see you just after lunch, just after midday. All right, catch you then. Bye. Hi, it's me. It's midday, and I'm. Sorry, bumblebee just landed on me, and I just wanted to make sure it didn't land too long because I have allergy actually, and if that would put paid to the weekend. The rest of this was like, seriously, I'm 8 down, I've got 4 to go. I really don't need I don't need to be administering adrenaline and going and visiting the hospital, do I now? So anyway, which is actually kind of a lead into what I wanted to talk about a little bit on this this wee section, is talking about prevention. And it's, seriously, we know, middle-aged women, we do things to prevent stuff. And yeah, I find it fascinating that there's a couple of things that stop people from in running races. There's a couple of things that in long distance endurance running races one is injury and the other is food, nutrition. Actually gut stuff. And so, but the injury is all, a lot of it's overuse. So I've talked about doing the training and other stuff necessary. But the other thing is just like, that people will get stopped by blisters. And actually a while ago, very long time ago, I was doing a bit of running, and I was in the middle of training up for a marathon. Everybody got to run it, never run it. And I got stopped in my training by an ingrown toenail, which just, it sounds absurd, but an ingrown toenail, and it was that painful that I couldn't train. And so missed the marathon and then just lost interest. And so, but I have learned over the years, we do everything to prevent injury or ill health in our horses. I've talked right at the beginning of this about electrolytes, and I haven't actually talked about hydration, but that is also critically important. And I'm going out here in quite high humidity and 22ish degrees, and actually really interestingly, I had a quick scroll through Twitter this morning, and there was a guy there one of the doctors posting about exercise induced hypothermia from just moderate exercise amongst athlete and relatively and it can occur in low temperatures, just from athletes exerting themselves above and beyond what they normally would. But it is something that I am aware of and have been hydrating. And also I'm not doing anything, like I'm not these 4 mile runs, although there is a cumulative effect of on my metabolism and on my bones and joints. It's not so much I do cool down between, so it's not a cumulative effect so much with that, but so going out, so that is not so much of an issue here. But one thing that does stop a lot of people is blisters, and I've every time I go out, blisters and chafing, and every time I go out I have been using my anti-chafing stuff, and it never ceases to amaze me the amount of people that go, oh, my feet turned to mush and so I had to treat them, or I got chafing between my thighs, or nipples is really common with guys, or under your boob with women, and so I started using anti-chafing cream, at mile whatever it is, and it's like I put it on every day before I come out. So anyway, that's the kind of sensibility stuff that and just being able to prevent issues before they arise, that I think is something that we've learned to believe in, and we just do it. Right, so that's obviously me at the gate. I will see you in 4 miles. Hey, I'm back. It's it's another 4 done. So, and it was it's warm and it's humid. My legs have got a few miles on them now. But it was still relatively easy. I did take it a little bit slower, but then I did that because it is hot and it is humid and there's a few miles on my legs. So, and actually one of the things that I have an issue with some of the people that propose for you to push yourself and to be and to tough things out is it's always stupid to put yourself in harm's way, and that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. It's like just don't do it. There's no, it's like there's taking calculated risks, is challenging yourself about something that you think might be tough, but actually putting yourself in harm's way And I've got one example, of just people going against, like actually physically against medical advice. So being advised not to do something with a critical health diagnosis and then just doing it anyway, and then all the followers going like, oh, you're so strong, you're so tough. It's like, it's one thing, even there, it's one thing to put yourself into harm's way, but to then to encourage other people, and for them to be saying, encouraging that and thinking that, you know, when they're advised not to do something, that, you know, with real catastrophic, possibility of catastrophic outcome, it's just not worth it. And so today, you know, like I've said to you the whole way through, I'm not a, marathon fit. I'm not, certainly not ultra marathon fit. I don't think I'd possibly finish a half marathon now, but I wouldn't be going fast, that's for sure. I'm just averagely fit. Banging out, doing 4 miles is, that's my usual kind of workout, doing 4 miles. And so, I know that, so I'm not super fit. I live in Scotland. We haven't had summer. It's like, okay, it's overcast now. It doesn't look very warm, but, for what we've had around here, it is. Plus we've got all that humidity. And I'm tired after, what are we now, 36 hours in. And so, I take it easy, I'm not a dick. I don't want to be on the side of the road calling an ambulance because I've got heat stroke. It's just completely and utterly not necessary. And it's the same with anything that you do. Sorry, I'm putting my hand in front of the camera. We've got flash technology, you see here. Right, on that note, I am just about at home. I'm going to have a cool shower and some food and some drink and probably have a little nap before I see you again at 4 o'clock. Alright, catch you then. Bye. Hello everybody, it's 4 p.m. And I'm heading out for, I guess, run number 10. And actually, I'm pretty sure that I've got the numbers wrong through these recordings, but who gives a shit? This is I do know this is my third to last, so there you go. I feel good. I am going out. I've got both the dogs with me this time. My husband works, does a few extra hours on Sundays occasionally, and he is doing it this weekend, so they haven't gone out for their normal walks, and actually they're both quite keen. The one that you see right in the distance there, he kind of lags. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to take out. So it might be a slow one. Might be a bit of walking and calling and yelling at dogs, but that's okay. I will get it done. And I'm feeling fine. That's fine. My muscles can feel like they've done a bit of running. They don't actually feel as bad as I expected. My joints are a little sort of like, I'm a 50-year-old woman, for fuck's sake. My joints are shit at the best of times. They feel like they do. I have managed to get, come on, Bo. See what I mean? Legs. So I have managed to get a reasonable amount of sleep. In between times, it's not just sleep, but resting. Just like this weekend has been about just doing this, which is, like I said, this is one of the things that we plan and that we do. We sort of plan to succeed. My biggest problem at the moment is that I'm bored. I'm going out, I'm going down and running the same route along the road, and it's really quite pretty. We live in a nice part of the world, and I run alongside, like, when I say the road, it is paved, but it's single track, and we are literally the last house at the end of the road, and there's not much traffic, and you know, we quite easily will go out for a run or drive into town and not see a vehicle. So yeah, it's not that much of a road. And actually, if you're worried about my dogs, because I know people do, that run with them off for the lead and that sort of stuff, they are incredibly well trained, and yeah, they hear a car and they come back and they sit at my feet. We always stop by the side of the road and sit. They sit as traffic goes past. So they yeah, they spend yeah, and they're good with stock and everything too, because I've grown up on farms and I know how it all goes. So yeah, so we'll be out and about. The weather is warm, and again it's still overcast though, which thank fuck for that. Yeah, so it's like, it's only 22 degrees, but as I said, yeah, that's not what we're used to there. It's only about 80% humidity now, but which is still, you know, warm and damp enough. But there is a nice breeze, which is great, not just to keep me cooler, but also because if you know the west of Scotland, we have mosquitoes, the midgies, no-see-ums, I think they call them in the States, but they're little bastards, millions of the fuckers. And yeah, so fortunately, if we didn't have the wind, I'd be battling those as well. So yeah, so anyway, that's about that, and I am going out to yeah, battle my boredom and get another 4 miles, and I'll see you at the end of it. Bye now. Hiya. I've obviously got some sort of sleep deprivation because I just took a photo instead of starting the video. But anyway, yeah, that really easy. Yeah, it was a bit slower than normal, as you'd expect, with all that stopping and starting to take videos, and also to throw the dogs in the car and that sort of stuff. But I didn't actually stop my watch while we did that, and I was actually only a couple of minutes slower, and I remember seeing something on Tim Ferriss, if you know him, who's interviewing Derek Sivers, and Derek told the story of you know, he was going out and he was cycling, and yeah, like most 30-something men, yeah, it was all on Strava, so he had to go as fast as he possibly could, and yada yada yada. And he'd keep doing the same circuit and trying to beat his time. And he kind of fell out of love with his cycling. So anyway, one day he decided to just get on the bike and ride. And he went and did the same track, but he sort of like stopped and watched the skaters and the seagulls and the, you know, just people walking by. Stop for the lights. Cyclist, you know I'm talking to you. Stop for the lights and did all that type of stuff. But did the same route and had a really good time. Got home, and he was also just a couple of minutes over his best time, and he thought he was probably doing about 70% effort. So, and it's just, I mean, it's something that coaches around the world will teach you too. You don't always put 100% effort in, or you don't want to be putting 100% effort in the majority of the time. And even in competition, it's like it's good to get in the zone, and you'll get a lot out of training and competing with you'll get some really good results with much less chance of injury or burnout, or like Derek, he fell out of love with cycling and it was his primary sport. So just something to think about if you've got a horse. And those of you that have followed me for a while, you'll know that I was an elite level dressage, and partly because I'd lost all my competitive horses with illness and injury, but also with the pressure of everything, having put everything into that, into reaching elite level competition. I didn't love it as much as I could, and so when the chance came in lockdown to get a little white fluffy pony and gallop around some cross-country courses, I took it. And yeah, it did. It got me back in love with horses. Unfortunately, it didn't get me any better luck. So, as you all know, I don't have a horse at the moment because my last superstar prospect also died last year. So anyway, enough of that. We're here to find out why how a galloping housewife, how an ordinary middle-aged woman can meet a challenge that lots of people find difficult. Not just meet a challenge, find it relatively simple. Okay, only 2 more to go. I will see you just after 8. Bye now. Well, here I am, Siobhan, the galloping housewife, and it's 8 o'clock, just after. The Welsh National Anthem was on because I left the house. So the weekend that I'm doing this is the Rugby World Cup, which I've mentioned before, and the Welsh are playing the Fiji at the moment, so that's an incentive to get out there and back. Might watch the second half. Actually, I probably will go and try and get a nap before my last drum. Didn't have a nap this time, so it's the first one today that I haven't sort of gone for a nap. But anyway, here we are on the second to last one, and it's and I'm feeling fine. Feeling pretty good physically. I'm obviously a bit tired, and I can feel in my legs. I might struggle to go downstairs for a day or two. But there's nothing that is obviously falling apart. I think that we'll see will stop me finishing this. And I just, the message is, but I had my specific goals for this one. So my goal, address this challenge, was to complete it. But it was also to make it as simple as possible, to break it down and to do the preparation and to make sure that I had everything lined up so that I could do this and to show middle-aged, ordinary, average women like myself that it's that too often, and I said this on one of the other things, too often we look at goals and challenges from the outside and think, oh, we don't have what it takes to do that. And it's like, well, yes, you do. You may not have what it takes to do it like that person, but you have what it takes to do it your way. You've got so many skills and attributes and capabilities that you just don't tap into day to day, that you get overwhelmed by the obvious, and I'm not gonna, having watched a number of videos about this specific challenge, there were, if I'd taken them at face value, I would have gone, well, no, it looks really hard, and those people are struggling, and they are fitter than me, they're faster than me, they're better athletes than me, they've got experience doing things, and it's they had so much more going for them. They're younger. They have probably less aches and pains on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, so there was all those sorts of things. And so, and talking to the galloping housewives out there, you will go to an event and a show, and you will know that you will have a completely different goal to the person in the next horse box, and the competitor that goes before and after you. You might have a goal of getting a clear round, or getting over a particular jump, or or nailing a movement in a dressage test, and they will have something different. They might want to make the time for the first time, or whatever it is. But we set our own goals, and we and therefore our success is based on it's based on the goals that we set. And so here I am. Well, I'm again, touch wood, I've still got two more runs to go, but my success will be judged on whether I can make this, whether I can finish this, and whether I can finish it simply, easily. That's the goals that I set out with. So we'll see. Right, I will see you in 4 miles. Hello, it's me here. So that's the second to last one done. Nice and easy. Nothing to report really. I've only just turned the light on actually to talk to you, because I was going to video it, but there's a black screen, and I know now you're seeing like glare and all that type of stuff, and it's not really all that helpful, but anyway. It's just job's a good one. I'm going to head back up the hill now and have a shower and have a lie down for a few hours before we do the last one, which I am looking forward to having done. I'm looking forward to having dry hair, actually. I have this sort of hair that you can't dry with a dryer, and I can't be asked anyway, and you certainly can't dry with a towel, so I end up with a turban on, and it just never quite gets dry by the time I have a lie down. Anyway, that's a completely different thing, but actually, galloping housewives out there, other middle-aged women will understand that having dry hair is occasionally quite nice. Anyway, I don't know whether that's the rambling or lack of sleep, but that's me, over and out. I'll see you just after midnight for the last run. Hi, it's me. It's Siobhan, the galloping housewife, and for the last time in this 48 hours, I'm heading down to the gate to run for 4 miles. It's just after midnight, and it's chucking it down. Well, you know what they say, there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only bad clothing. Well, chucking it down is the one thing that I don't have running clothing for. See, I told you it wasn't a proper runner. So I'm just going to get wet. But also, as galloping housewives the world over will know, nothing stops for it to rain, just because of rain. And it's just one of those things we deal with. We just go out there and do shit. We have to feed horses and muck out horses and catch horses and turn out horses, and 365 days a year. They don't take Christmas off, and they don't take the rainy days off. And we have all been absolutely drenched at a show. In fact, I did one international show in the snow. Only lightly snowing, I will say, but in the snow, because it was an international series that we had judges that came around. They travelled. It was for developing nations or whatever it was, and so the judges that year came to Christchurch and and judged us from, and then went to places like China and Taiwan and Hong Kong, and we were in the Oceania group, and Malaysia. And so because they were only there for a set number of days and it was snowing, we kept going. So there you go. I'm feeling good. Yeah, it was actually really interesting. I have a body clock that wakes itself up, so it doesn't matter what time I set an alarm for, my body clock will wake me up before the alarm goes off, and so I haven't been woken up by my alarm yet, and tonight was no different. Body clock woke me up about 10 minutes before, and here I am. So I will see you when this is all over. Okay, that was kind of cool. Hello. It's Siobhan here, the galloping housewife, and in the words of another Kiwi explorer, we knocked the bastard off. So yeah, that's it, that's job done. 12 4-mile runs, 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. That's 48 miles, 78 kilometres, 1,600 feet of elevation. That's 480 metres and 110,000 steps. And I also can confirm that I am absolutely drenched. So I'm kind of glad that the thunderstorms that were originally predicted for this afternoon didn't show up, but anyway. And I guess my verdict is that it was easy. It wasn't any particular drama. It was always physically easy, and and I do wonder, I have a bit of a think about, I'm gonna obviously record an introduction to this and probably record a conclusion as well. But I do wonder whether all the people that I saw that had done this challenge that said it was really difficult, said it was really tough, it was going to take a lot of strength, were people that had relied on physical strength and being tough and actually found that easy, that's how they solved all their problems. And then the moment that it wasn't so easy, it wasn't something that they could just tough out, that they could just be stronger than the next person and do it that way, that it became hard. And just all it needed was a little bit of planning and a little bit of also expectation that it was going to be bloody easy, that I did have the skills and the problem solving ability and the strategies to cope with things when they came up. But anyway, like I said, I am going to, you have got a very terrible screen. So anyway, I may change that, I'm not quite sure, it must be reflecting or something. So I will probably give you a different picture, hopefully be able to carry this audio through, and I will I will get home, have a look at these videos, see whether they're worth putting together, and record a bit of an introduction and a bit of a conclusion. And one thing I did want to say is that tonight was a really nice run. It's like, it's pissing down you, something absolutely saturated, yada yada yada, but the frogs were out, managed not to step on any. I saw hedgehogs and rabbits, or hare probably. Here they were. He was, I won't give him any points much for a straight line, but he did stay in the arena. He ran ahead of me for quite some time. And my heron again took flight in front of me, and hopefully I've got some usable footage of the owl, and you will see that too. Just incredible. So right, that's it, job done. I'm going home to have a shower, to dry off, and to go to bed without an alarm. Alright, bye now.
Hi there. Well done if you made it this far. It's now a day after I finished the challenge, and my house and my life are returning somewhat to normal. I've recovered well, probably even better than I expected. Contrary to expectations, coming down the stairs has not been a problem. My resting heart rate is back to normal. And I'm actually going out for a short run if I can fit it in, if I can finally get this video edited and uploaded. I'm not going to lie, I'm glad it's done, but honestly, I found it easy. It was certainly a matter of having integrity. I said I'd do it, and I did what I said I would do, whether I felt like it at the time or not. I planned and prepared, and I made sure that I had the support of my family. And they're used to watching me doing all sorts of crazy things. And I got the stuff ready, like my clothes around, and I had to make sure the fridge was stocked full of food that I'd be eating, and all those sorts of things. I simply got it done. I'm not suggesting that you should do this sort of thing to find out whether you're capable. I completed this challenge so that you don't have to. You can borrow proof from me that an ordinary, average, middle-aged woman can do hard things. You don't need to be strong or tough or powerful. That's not to say that middle-aged women are better than those that use their physical strength or mental toughness to meet their challenges. We're just different. We have different attributes and different skills, which are just as valuable and just as useful if we let them be. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you got something out of it. If you did, you can find me on social and online, and give me a follow, give me a subscribe, give me a like. And it'd be good to hear from you. It'd be good to hear from you what your big takeaways from following this were. All right, I'll catch you soon.